Okay, so here we are, the new Monolith Junior. This one's in black because it's the signature colour. Also comes in a dark burgundy red as well. This is assembled. It did come in the box with everything you see here. Everything was assembled on the actual Monolith itself. It was only the stand that needed assembling, which came with these here legs that just needed screwing into there. And then there were 6 screws on each leg, one here and one on the other side, so 2 on each leg, 3 legs. So it took about 5 minutes in total to assemble. Didn't take long. Everything else, as I say, came on there. Like other Kamados, obviously it looks, I think, it looks like a decent addition to a garden or even in a professional kitchen. Just for those people that aren't familiar with Kamados, I'm going to touch very briefly on these sort of the benefits over your typical barbecue. With this one, the Junior, the Monolith Junior especially, the versatility over perhaps other Kamados is, in my opinion, quite apparent as well. Obviously, it comes with this stand, which is the same type of stand as the classic and the bigger Le Chef models. So you can use this quite happily if you were just a couple of cooking for 2 people. You can fit, I'll show you in the inside in a bit, but you can use this as you would any other Kamado. It's not just a portable on the beach Kamado, but equally it has these stainless steel handles that are attached, so you can just lift it out and take it with you as well. So you can take it camping or on the beach, as well as use it as a full Kamado, which I think is probably its best feature. Like other Kamados, you can sear on it, really high temperature grilling, standard grilling. You can bake on it, so pizzas, breads, that sort of thing. You can roast in it. You can, and of course, smoke in it. Really low and slow temperatures. And also because of the design, you can use these all year round. I cook all year round on mine, from the Christmas turkey to just doing a joint of beef at the weekend. The Kamado, again, I'm touching on this very briefly for those who aren't familiar. Ancient principles with modern twists. It is an ancient technology using, I think when it was original it was clay, but obviously now it's a ceramic inside. And the ceramic insulation and the spherical design also give great heat retention as well. So you'll find that the heat does spread fairly evenly through them, which is also part of the design to keep your meats moist, as opposed to perhaps smoking in a metal barbecue, which tends to pull the moisture out. Hence why you need water pans and that sort of thing, which isn't necessary in a Kamado. That efficiency also means that you also actually end up using lower charcoal. Obviously, Kamados are generally more expensive than other barbecues, but you do tend to get they do tend to be an investment for life, but also actually cheaper running costs once you're up and running, because these things are built to last. The gaskets obviously do need replacing every now and then. These felt gaskets, they will go every 1 to 2 years depending on how hard you use them and how high temperature you go regularly. But yeah, the charcoal consumption is fairly low, and also once you finish using them, you can just close all the vents down and the fire will stop itself, so any charcoal you've got in there can be used again. Only use lumpwood charcoal with a Kamado. Again, briquettes and things, as I'm sure you're aware, have other things in them to make them last as long as possible and bind them together. With the proper heat controls on a Kamado, you can, in my experience, I know others might disagree, can get lumpwood to last just as long as briquettes on a metal barbecue. But only use the lump because the ceramic does have pores, so you can end up actually getting some of that flavour in there. And again, the lumpwood also creates a lot less ash as well, so it's actually easier to clean out. But you don't get that chemical flavour imbued into your barbecue. How to light, I'll be doing another video tomorrow lighting this with our new charcoal, the Marabou Cuban white charcoal, which has been designed specifically for Kamados, I'm reliably told by the manufacturers, but I'll be testing that. It's supposed to give an incredibly long burn time as opposed to your standard lumpwood. Supposedly it takes a little while longer to light, but I tend to use a loose lighter rather than the charcoal cubes. If you are using charcoal cubes, just another point that they should be the wood compound ones rather than the white ones, again for chemical flavours. All the fittings on the Monolith are stainless steel. I've already mentioned the handles, but you've got your stainless steel bands around the side as well here, and the hinge on the back is also stainless steel, and all the bolts. So some of the older ones have others have cast iron on them, which if they are chipped can then rust, whereas these are high-grade stainless steel. At the moment, these come with this cast iron top pot. I'm a big fan of the chimney caps, like these here. Hopefully in the future there may be something to go on a smaller one, but for the time being these are absolutely fine. You know, they are heavy, they're not meant to really come off, so you shouldn't really damage them. To clean them, you just put them inside at a high temperature. Again, just for a little bit for those who aren't familiar with Kamados, all Kamados are self-cleaning. On the inside you just fire them up to a high temperature and leave them for 20 minutes, they'll clean themselves. Right, so this one has got the smoke and bake pack. So you get an Allen key, which is for doing screws on the legs. Gets a little leaflet, which is at the moment bilingual, German and English, but Monolith are a German company. But it goes through all the sort of the basics that you get with it, how to put the stand together, but I've already shown you, and then the basics between baking, smoking and grilling. So that's that. Then we've got, this is the second level. Great, this obviously isn't the order you would use it, that's just my pizza stone there, so ignore that for a second. So you can have 2 level smoking and roasting here, smaller one on the top and then the normal one there. Put that down there for a minute. Pizza stone there. Again, I can show you the layout of how that works in a second. This is just as it came in it. This would be your normal smoking layout with your heat deflector underneath your grate. Or again, some people when they're roasting actually like the heat deflector on the top level, but that's just that's the holder for the heat deflector. And then inside is your typical layout. You've got your charcoal holder there. What I think a lot of people might be surprised about is actually the depth of these, maybe compared to some others. I haven't seen the others, but you know, you can fit a decent amount of charcoal in there, so you can do a proper long smoke. If you wanted to leave it, I'll be testing it to see if we can do an all-nighter, but I reckon you'd get at least 8 to 10 hours out of that, maybe more with the marabou charcoal, I'll tell you that at another point. So, and again, just very quickly for those who aren't familiar, basic grilling setup there, with your meat straight on the top. As I showed you before, the smoking setup, like that. Roasting setup. Some people like that, with the heat deflector a little higher. And then for baking or for pizza, have your heat deflector on the top, and then your pizza stone on top of that. Obviously all of the time is with the lid closed. If the lid's open, you're not really cooking, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's the basics. We've also got the Smoke Easy system here, which is just the pull out, and then the smoking chips go in there. There's a tube which is actually packed away at the moment, but it's just a square metal tube that goes in there, and you can push your smoking chips in. Handy for if maybe you had something, I don't know, a piece of pork shoulder on all day and you were adding some ribs onto the second level later and you wanted to add some more smoke. Means you'd have to pull everything out. You can just pop some chips in there. And then on the bottom is your draft door. Again, similar to all Kamados, but for those people that haven't used them before, you can adjust this. On the larger ones, that's normally the sort of level I have it at to keep a steady 225 Fahrenheit. But again, I'll have a little play to see how it works on a smaller vessel. And then as the others, the top cap opens fully, and then obviously you've got your daisy wheel as well. So that's generally it. Just a quick one. Here is my classic grate. It's a bit dirty, it needs a clean. And there's the Junior next to it. So a bit of a size difference, but as I say, with the second level, and if you're only cooking for a couple of people, still plenty of room on there. I'll be doing some cooks on this to show you as well. In terms of bits and pieces, it's got a number of accessories. These will all be on the Monolith website, but if anybody needs the information in the meantime, they can get in touch. There's the red, which is the same for all sizes, but it's that red is the other colour. And there's your Junior, as I say, all those bits that come with it, and then the optional parts there in the packs. So that's kind of my introduction to it. As I say, I will be using this from tomorrow. I'm going to be testing the marabou charcoal as well. That's, as I say, burns longer and harder, Cuban white. So I'll be interested to see what results I get on that. So until next time, goodbye.